What up, YouTube? This is Dave Medic 1. I'm just gonna I've been getting a lot of questions about sharpening and whatnot, and I'm just gonna kind of run through kind of an evolution of what I went through as far as getting to where I am now as far as sharpening goes. And I'm gonna go quick on this because if I go ahead and go through everything here, you know, it's gonna be like a 30-minute long video. First off, when I first started sharpening, I had gotten a cheap little stone deal like this. That you could actually, I got this at Harbor Freight, little piece of crap one, and it did work. And I still actually use this, but not really for knife sharpening, more for chisels and stuff like that. And basically, you can get these anywhere. I mean, you can get this for like 15-20 bucks, Harbor Freight, and it comes with your 2400 grit on the white. This is a super fine carbide stone here, and this is 120 grit. So this is basically just to get something to be sharp, maybe possibly paper cutting sharp, but it finaling out at 2400 grit is not really going to get you to where you're going to be slicing paper, like push cutting paper. So that was in the beginning, and as you can see with its capabilities, it's very limited. So we'll set that off to the side. Some honing solution there you put on your stones, and basically you put that on your stones so that the metal doesn't sit inside the porous materials and it's still doing what it needs to do, and it makes it easier to clean when you're done. My second phase of evolution is I went with one of these Smith's sharpening kits here that have the foolproof dummy angle setup deal, and you guys may be familiar with that. And basically how it works is you've got basically your little angled piece right here. It's got 20 and 25 degrees there, depending on what grind is on your knife. And basically what you would do is you'd loosen this guy up, clamp your knife blade in here like so, leaving about 1/4 of an inch space, 1/4 of an inch space in between the piece here and your actual edge. You tighten that up, and then what happens there is you take one of, they provide you with this kit, they provide you with the fine stone and a coarse stone depending on how rough your edge is, and these are diamond. And basically, I'm not exactly sure what the grit is on that, so basically this will make your blade push cut through there. And basically how it works, you take this piece like so, spit it in there, bang. What you'll want to do first is you'll want to set that on top of there and kind of look at it from the side. And forgive me because, like I said, I'm still filming off my cell phone, so you might not be able to tell. But if you look at it from the side like that, you can kind of tell and do your best. You know, do your best as far as figuring out what angle it is. It may be a 20 or 25 degree, depending on the knife grind on there. But you'll be able to tell as you pass through, because metal will show itself on the other side as you go through. So that's basically what I went to in step 2. Now, the cool thing about this guy right here is you can get really creative like I did. This fine diamond, if I were to guess, it's probably about the 500 grit. Now, 500 grit will get your knife pretty sharp. You want to get it sharper than that, you don't have to go ahead and spend all the money and get all the other stuff. If you're smart about it, if you think about it, you can go ahead and take your sandpaper, like I've done in the past. You take it and you wrap it around your stone like so, and now this becomes whatever grit your sandpaper is, and you still keep a predetermined degree, whether it's 20 or 25 degree, and you can go ahead and exceed the capabilities of your normal stone you've got there. So you can go into however fine sandpaper you've got. I mean, you can go all the way to 1000 or 1200 grit, and bam, go through. And the cool thing about this is, as you go through, this knife is already razor sharp, so I'm not going to go. Basically, you just go back and forth, and I would just count. I'd go, let's say initially, if you're starting with the stones or something with a smaller grit, go about 10, go across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever, and go 8 on each side, or 12 on each side, but make sure it's even. And then basically, before you switch to your next sandpaper, or whatever, you go ahead and wipe off your blade. Another thing to give your sandpaper a longer life is if you spray the sandpaper down with WD-40, it will actually improve the performance of the sandpaper as you're going to go ahead and try to acquire your blade. So that's not a bad idea to have a little bit of WD-40. You don't need much. You know, I kind of spray it and let the mist hit it, and that's all you really need. Or else you'll make a complete mess. By the time you're done, you're gonna look like you worked on a freaking diesel truck. So just a little bit goes a long way on that. But that's another thing right there that you can go ahead and do as far as if you're not, you know, too comfortable with your freehand sharpening yet, you can do that, and that's another alternative to it. You can get this kit right here. You can get, I got this at Lowe's. I had a Lowe's gift card, and I think I got it for like 35 bucks. You can probably get it for 20 bucks. And basically, you know, I have stropping compounds in here. Actually, when I first started, I got it from Stropping, a bunch of compounds. And then what I ended up doing there is then followed up with my strops, and then finalized the edge, and basically got it razor freaking sharp. So that's one way to solve a problem. So you got, you know, 30 bucks. And then, you know, Harbor Freight even has a pack of packs of sandpaper. Let me show you real quick there, because I'm all about saving you guys time and money. Let me do the homework and let you guys benefit from my hard work there. This is exactly what it looks like. 10 sheets, wet and dry. I think this was $4 or $5 for the pack. It includes two sheets of 220 grit, 3 sheets of 500 grit, 3 sheets of 1,000 grit, and 2 sheets of 1,200 grit. You're only going to be cutting them in little squares. You've got multiple sheets. This should last you a good long while. But while you're in there, go ahead and buy 2 packs, 8 bucks, and then you're set for a good long while. And there you go. You got your sandpaper, and then later on, if you graduate into freestyle or freehand, excuse me, I keep on saying freestyle. That goes hip hop, you know, freestyle. Anyway, when you go to freehand sharpening, you'll be able to take these and adopt them into that, and you'll have some there to keep going there. So that's that. So Harbor Freight's got those. Like I said, I just picked up a whole bunch of sandpapers. I hate ordering stuff online and waiting. If I can get it locally, I'd rather do it locally and kind of keep money local. So that's kind of how I do, even though Harbor Freight's a big company, whatever. They make a lot of cheap crap, so watch out when you go in there when you buy stuff. But, you know, how can you make... The sandpaper is going to do what it needs to do, you know. I mean, sandpaper is only made so many ways. You know, it may not last as long, but crap, I mean, you know, for $4 or $8, bam, you know. You order it online, it's going to be, it's the best way I found, the cheapest way I found, and that's pretty much what I try to do for you guys, is find the cheapest alternative to getting this going, because not all of us are made of money. And so if I can go ahead and give you guys tips on how to do what you like to do without breaking the bank, then that's what I'm all about. And if you guys know me, then you know that's what this channel is about. So anyway, we went through that. Bam. The sharpening kit, not a bad idea when you're getting in there. As you start to know, you'll notice that that Convex grinds just are the freaking is the best edge you can put on a knife. As far as cutting capabilities and as far as maintenance on your knife, it makes it really easy to sharpen. It doesn't matter where you're at. You don't need this guide or anything. Once you get a handle of it, you can sharpen it, and it'll be the best edge you can get. You know, all the way through, and that's pretty much what I convert all my edges to. So basically, when it gets to that, we'll get rid of this right here. Loosen this guy up. Get this knife out. Basically, this mat in front of me is actually a mat I got. They have these mats, and they kind of put them under desks and stuff, so or places that you stand, so it cushions and protects your back. But it's kind of got little ridges in it, and it's really hard leather, or not hard leather, but hard rubber. So it gives a little bit, but not too much. You don't want something too squishy, because what will end up happening is when you go to sharpen it, you'll roll the edge. It'll be too squishy, and then the edge, and then it'll roll the edge over this way, and you'll just be chasing it the whole time. One side, you'll get one side sharp, metal will be on the other side. You'll be sitting there forever, and then you have to be really careful as far as how light you go. But basically, you grab your normal sandpaper, like I showed in the other. Actually, let me grab another knife. And basically, with this mat, you just basically go through, bang, and then bang, and you go through, and you'll convex the edge and get it nice and sharp. You do it on a regular surface, and just mind your angle. You can do too, but this is what I ultimately go to right now. I go ahead and I run through the sandpapers like so, and if your EDC as long as once a week or twice a week, it all depends on how often you use it or what you're cutting. As long as you go ahead and go back through, 9 times out of 10, stropping the knife will bring the edge back to how sharp you want it. If it's harder use, you'll have to maybe run to 1000 grit, 800 grit, and you'll get it right back in a little stropping and bam. But if you take care of your EDC and don't let it get too far, you don't have to go too crazy on sharpening. If it's a knife that you just got in a trade and the edge was crappy, then you'll have to go through all the work to get it back up to hair whittling sharp. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And I'm sorry this is not as detailed as I'd like to get, but I just want to just give you guys an idea of how I go through. There's plenty of sharpening videos out here. I've adopted this method from Gavco. My ideology as far as knife geometry, edge, and how superior Convex grinds is totally all Kylie from Knives and Stuff. If you watch his video, he completely explains it, and it makes total and complete sense. And it's not just him saying it. I've seen the performance itself. He's done multiple testing. He knows what he's talking about. Ask anybody on YouTube. He knows his stuff. So basically, you know, the proof is in the pudding, basically. So, and then on top of that, these strops right here is what I use to finalize my edges. You know, I have my black, which is the first one I go through, and basically I'll go ahead and strop my edge and go through paces or whatever. Maybe depending on how much I need. I mean, you can go 8, 9 times on each side, 12 times, 20 times. You can go crazy with it. And then before you switch to the next compound, I have this little block of rubber. An eraser will work, and basically you slice in there. What happens is it takes all this compound, the black compound, and leaves it behind on this rubber. That way, when you flip it out and go to your white compound, you don't have this coarse, this grit from this coarse compound transferring over to your white, and you don't have it contaminating this. Because that's how you're going to make your strop last a long, long time. And I'll tell you what, guys, these are one of the very first ones I've made. I've had these strops for a little over a year now, and I think I've cleaned them once, and they work well. They work very, very good. And if someone asks me how long do strops last, well, it depends on how long you take care of them, but they should last a long, long time. And the funny thing about it is the leather I used on this was very thin, and you know, really not the. I mean, actually, the strops I sell you guys are way better than these, and I'm using this junk still, just because I haven't had a time to make myself another pair of good ones. But they work fine. So basically, I go through the black, go ahead and slice the blade across the rubber to leave any grit back behind there. Go with your white as much as you need it. I wouldn't spend too much time on your first 2 grits. If you only have one strop, double-sided strop, probably go with white and then your green, which is the finest, or maybe black, which is coarse, and then to the finest. But yeah, just probably white and green would be most what I would recommend the most. And you go through, bang, and it's just when you get to this green is the one you really want to take time. Make sure you go ahead and clean the debris off your knife, and when you go to the green, that's the one you're going to sit there and hang out and watch, you know, whatever, South Park or whatever you guys like to watch, Adult Swim or you know, whatever, Cooking Channel, whatever you guys want. You just sit there and strap the blade while you're checking out the tube or whatever, looking all crazy and stuff, like that dude from Cobra, you know, the bad guy in Cobra with the pantyhose on his head and he was sharpening the knife, he looked all nasty. You guys can just chill out on the couch just like he does and go ahead and strop your knife. And the more time you spend on it, the more sharp this guy will be. I mean, this knife right here, the edge becomes polished after a while, and basically you fail on YouTube with a knife cutting test. But you see that? And you can take any knife and make it this sharp. No matter, you know, some steels are just way crappy. But let me show you something real quick. This is an M-Tech. I think it's called a Red Devil, this knife is. This knife, you can get it all day for $8, $9 shipped to your house. This is a piece of crap knife. This is junk. Alright? If you got your technique down, it doesn't matter. This is, they say it's 440, it says it's 440 steel, USA design, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it may be 440 steel, but as you can see, push cutting through this, no problem. No problem. See that? So, it all depends. I mean, just take your best bet is to get a beater knife and practice your sharpening on it, as well as all I could say. And like I said, that's my evolution from the stones to the fixed angle sharpening kit that you can get at Lowe's or online for dirt cheap. From there to actually doing with the sandpapers, and eventually you will get the idea. You'll develop muscle memory, and you'll know the angle by what it looks like, and you'll be able to sharpen it. And you just get a beater knife. If you don't want to trash one of your Spydercos or something like that, just get a beater knife, a kitchen knife to practice on. It doesn't matter. And you'll know when you go through all the stages or whatever, and you feel it with your hand or whatever, and then you start to go with the strops and push cut it. You don't have to. You can still push cut through paper without having to strop, as long as you go. If you go to 1200 grit sandpaper, that's razor sharp. They don't strop the edges when it comes out of the factory. This is a polished edge. You can probably see it shining right there. They don't do that with your factory knives. They probably sharpen it to whatever grit, but you can achieve that with a 1200 grit and be able to push cut through there. So as you practice, you'll be able to figure out the technique that works best for you. Now, maybe the fixed angle is what you're more comfortable with. No big deal. The name of the game is getting your knife sharp enough to work for what you need it to work for. I'm just showing you guys basically what I do, and just because I've got a lot of questions about it. There's other resources out there as far as find the pieces to the puzzle on your own. Like I said, I tried to make this video quick, and it's probably already 20 minutes, but through Gavco's channel, through Kylie Knives and stuff, Jay Davis. Dude, Jay Davis is like freaking, he's like, I don't know, I think he just hangs out all day, in bed sharpening knives, dude. Between him and the Wicked Edge and his complete understanding of blade steel, carbon content, edge geometry or whatever. Between those guys, you'll be able to come up with a system that works well for you, and any questions that you have between these guys right there, they should be answered with them. You just got to take time to, if you really care about this or wanting to be able to sharpen, then do the research and look around, because it is out there. It's exactly I got this information from those guys I just mentioned there. So anyway, this video's taken a long time. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to watch it. If you're here at the end, thank you so much. This is just for you guys and to help you out. And if you have any comments or questions, just post them below. You basically check those other guys' channels out, look on their channel, search in their videos to see if you have any questions or whatnot, if you have any from here that I haven't already answered. I'll try to do my best, but those guys that I mentioned are a lot more knowledgeable than I am on that. I just gave you my 2 cents on this to help you guys along. You know me, I do low budget stuff, so I'm giving you information on materials and what I got going to save you guys a buck, to achieve the results you want without breaking the bank. So anyway, guys, I talk a lot, and I apologize, but I figured I wanted to do this video for you guys. That way, you guys are you're a little bit more familiarized with my techniques. So, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. New subscribers, thank you so much, and peace.